physical methods, chlorination, like that only. These all of the treatment of water. What is the groundwater? What is the definition of groundwater? Is the water from the below the earth surface in soil pores and the rocks formation of known as aquifers. It is one of the most important reliable source of the fresh water. The main source of the groundwater water is wells, tube wells, pumps, springs. Uh, wells done the wells through access of shallow the groundwater. Tube wells, deep narrow wells that tap into the deeper aquifer using pumps, motors. The springs is a natural outlets. Springs are natural outlets. Where is the groundwater flows to the surface. What are the characteristics of groundwater? Naturally filtered. Groundwater is a naturally filtered. It is a process through a layer of soil, sand, and rocks. Usually clear, colorless, and free from the suspended impurities. Less exposed to the direct pollution compared to the surface water. What is the mineral content in the groundwater? Groundwater is often the contents of dissolved minerals picked up from the rocks and soil, such as calcium, magnesium, iron, fluoride. These minerals may cause the hardness of the water, can change the taste, health issues, change the health issues. If present in the fluorosis, it is creating the fluorosis. This is like fluoride. It's and groundwater need to treat the water and distribute the water. What is the treatment needs? The generally requires a simple treatment compared to the surface of water. Common methods are aeration. Variation means it remove of the gas and iron, gases and iron by use the filtrations. Disinfection means use the chlorination, some chemical methods treat the biological and high heavy metals removed from the wastewater. What is the quality? Like water quality. Water quality refers to the physical, chemical, and biological characteristics of the water that determine the sustainability for the specific user, such as drinking, agriculture, industry, or recreation. Water quality standards the very depending on the independent use, but drinking water requires the highest level of purity. What is the means? Quality means that is the highest the requirement, the highest level of purity in the water. The characteristics of water is the physical parameter for the those that can be observed by the sense of measured with the chemical physical analysis. Color. Pure water is a colorless. Colors may be caused by the organic matter, indicate the vegetation, some pollutants add to the water. Organic matter, industrial waste. Some industries release the contaminants to the water. It is change the characteristics of real characteristics of the water. Industrial dissolved minerals, excessive of color, making the water unacceptable for the drinking. What is the turbidity of the water? The caused by the suspended particles such as the clay, silt, uh, microorganism, organic method to the nephoelectric turbidity units, NTU, high turbidity. That protects the microorganism from disinfects, reduce the aesthetic quality of the water. What is the desirable limits for the usually drinking water? Less than is approximately less than 1 NTU, the ideal water. Up to 5 NTU is permissible for the drinking water. The taste and odors causes to the how to cause the taste and odor in the water. The dissolved gases, organic matter, and algae, like these are change the water quality. Industrial pollution should be pleasant and unobjectable. What the change the temperature effects in the water? Dissolved oxygen levels, chemical reactions, biological activity can change the water temperature. The high temperature reduce the oxygen solubility, promote the microbial growth. What are the chemical characteristics of the water? The chemical parameters indicate the presence of the dissolved substances in the water, like pH scale 1 to the method from the 0 to 14. uh, less than 7 acidic condition, 7 is a neutral condition of the water, greater than 7 is a alkaline water. This is a natural neutral of pH 7 is useful to the drinking water. Below the 7 alkaline water, acidic water is not useful to the drinking purpose, and above 7 is alkaline water. This is also not suitable for the drinking purpose. 6 desirable water quality of pH is 6.5 to 8 point for the drinking purpose. It is desirable for the drinking range. The hardness of caused by the calcium, magnesium salts, the salts like calcium, magnesium, creating the hardness to the water. The temporary hardness is bicarbonates, permanent hardness is creating for the sulfates, chlorides, like this. The effects of the scale formation in a fiber and the soap wastage. Desirable limits of these what it means hardness limits above the 200 mg per liter as a calcium carbonate. The total dissolved salt include the salt, minerals, metals, high TDS. The effects of the taste can cause the health and scaling the issues. At desirable limits of the TDS is less than 500 mg per the liter. The chloride sources. What sewage in chloride? Where is coming chlorides? The coming from the industrial waste, seawater, industrial waste into the water. The hull chlorides and chlorides. It is a salty taste, corrosion of the pipes. Desirable limits of the chloride is about the 250 mg per liter. Uh, this is a desirable quality of water. Nitrate, this source of nitrates coming from the fertilizers, like using the agriculture fertilizer using from the agriculture sectors, sewage, animal waste, some dead animals and throw into the waste dump sites and create the pollution and coming from the sewage to the water, they creating a lot of nitrates pollution in the water body. High nitrate levels causes the methanoglobia, blue baby syndrome. Methanoglobia is in coming from the small children, so like infants, children, newborn born children. It is known as a blue baby syndrome. The baby color and eyes are look like a blue. The permissible levels of the nitrates is about the 45 mg per liter. What is the fluoride content? Fluoride content is naturally present in the some groundwater, which is like in Nalgonda, Chautupal, Chandur areas, like have the high level of fluoride contamination in the water bodies, groundwater. Naturally present in the some groundwater effects, low levels of prevent the dental caries. It is high levels causes the fluorosis. The optimal levels of around the 0.7 to the 7 to 1 milligram per the liter. But the biological characteristic of the water. This refers to as the presence of living organisms in water. The pathogen of microorganism water may be contain the disease causes organisms such as a bacteria or bacteria like cholera, typhoid. It creates diseases like cholera, typhoid, virus like hepatitis, polio, the protozoa diseases like amebia, helminthes, like parasites of worms, platyhelminthes, nematohelminthes, it's creating some diseases. Indicator the organisms. These studying all pathogens is a difficult to indicator of bacterial or it is a common indicator. Coliforms bacteria, Escherichia coli, like Escherichia coli, the presence of coliforms indicate the fecal contamination to the potential to the presence of the pathogen. A drinking water standard. Zero coliforms for the 100 ml is in sample. The importance of water quality assessment is ensuring the safe drinking water, prevent to the waterborne diseases, or protect the public health. The maintenance ecosystem balance, support to the industrial and agriculture productivity. The water quality standards. Water quality standards is regulated by the organization such as the World Health Organization. Bureau of Indian Standards, and these agencies specify the acceptable limits for the physical, chemical, and biological parameters. What is the summary of this water quality determined by the physical characteristic of water is color, turbidity, taste, odor, and temperature. The chemical characteristics of the water is pH, hardness, TDS, nitrates, fluorides. The biological characteristics of the organism is presence in the pathogens and indicate the organism indicator for the organism, like the physical and chemical and biological process indicate the water quality and drinking desirable levels. The good water quality is essential for the human health, environmental protection, and sustainable development. What is the physical parameters of water quality? The physical parameter of water quality desirable for the observable characteristic of the water quality that affect to the its appearance, acceptability, and usability. These parameters are usually detected by the human sense and are simple physical measurements. Turbidity. What is the turbidity? Turbidity is a uh, cloudness of the water caused to the presence of the suspended particle. Oh, where is coming from the turbidity? It is coming from the clay, silt, organic matter, and algae, microorganisms, industrial and domestic waste. What is the effects of the turbidity? Reduce the water clarity and aesthetic quality. The protect of the microorganism from the disinfections, interference with the filtration and treatment process. This is the turbidity level. What is the color? Color is the visible appearance of the water due to the dissolved suspended solids sources and decaying organic matter, industrial effluent, iron and magnesium component, algal growth, affect the make the water for the drinking maybe indicate the presence of pollutants. It is visibly seen to the water quality. Uh, And what is the standards of desirable taste and odor? Taste and odor. What is the taste and odor is a sensory characteristic of the water by the dissolved substances, gases, commonly gases, organic matter, decomposition of algal blooms, hydrogen sulfide, chlorine, industrial chemicals. These are the change the odor and taste. The effects when the acceptability is the drinking water maybe indicate the chemical and biological contamination. What is the standards of the water odor and taste? The water should be free from the objectionable taste and odor. Temperature also can change the change the water temperature. Temperature indicates the degrees of heat present in the water. So this is also contaminate the water and it indicates the purity of water. Chemical parameters referred to as a dissolved sustainable present in the water that influences safety, taste, corrosiveness, and say stability for the different uses. These parameters are crucial for the determining of the drinking water quality and identify the pollution sources. The pH. pH is the hydrological ions concentration. The definition of pH is the pH indicate the acidity or alkalinity of water. The measures on scale um, measures on scale 0 to 14. pH is less than 7 is acidic pH. 7 is the neutral. And pH is greater than 7 is the alkane. This source of pH variation and dissolved carbon dioxide, industrial discharges, and acid rains, alkane, the solid rocks. What is the effects of the low pH? Corrosion of the pipes and release the toxic metals. Uh, in case high pH, it may be water bitter taste, the formation of reducing the effectiveness of the chlorination. The drinking water standard desirable range of pH is 6.5 to 8.5. And these are the physical parameters of the water standards. The next one is what is indicate the possible pollution. Drinking water standard desirable from the some chlorides, sulfates, nitrates. These are the heavy metals. These are the indicate the water pollution range. What is the metal sources of the health effects permissible lead? Lead is a lead pipe is a battery lead coming from the batteries, waste batteries, paints, waste paints. This is effective. Lead is effective on the nervous system, damage to the nervous system and create the anemia. The mercury, Hg, mercury is coming from the industrial waste and mining sectors. It is causes the brain and kidney damage. Cadmium from the batteries, industrial waste. It is causes to the kidney damage and bone damage. Chromium from the industrial waste, ternary waste. It is create from the skin irritation, cancer waste. What are the effects of the heavy metals? Heavy metals are toxic even the small amounts of the bioaccumulation of the body. It causes a long-term health problem. What is the importance of the chemical parameters determine the safety and probability of water? Can help to the identify the source of pollution, prevent the chronic health issues, guide to the water treatment process. These are the some heavy metal impact to the water body, or the biological or microbial parameters refer to the presence of the living organism, coliforms, bacteria. What are the coliforms? Coliforms bacteria are a group of gram-negative rod-shaped bacteria commonly found in the soil vegetation, industrial tract of the water, blooded animals, water warm-blooded animals in like humans. The type of coliforms, the total coliforms include the bacteria from the soil, plants, materials. It is not always too harmful to the indicators of the contamination. What is the fecal coliforms? Fecal coliforms from the intentions of the human and animals. It's a strong indicator of the fecal contamination. Significance presence of the coliform suggests to the possible of contamination with the sewage and animal waste, the potential presence of the disease-causing organism. A drinking water standard coliforms is 0 coliforms per the 100 ml of drinking water. This is a waterborne. What type of waterborne pathogens? Bacteria like chlorella, typhoid, dysentery. Virus causes typhoid, retrovirus. Protozoans like Entomobacter lyrica, amoeba, gardiasis. Like helminthes, parasitic, including the roundworms, tapeworms, and like that only. This is causes the some diseases. It is affect to the human body and health. What is the importance of the indicator? It is indicate the contaminant of the water present in the particular water contamination. This is This is all are the biological, chemical, and physical water related parameters. What is the water related diseases? Water related diseases like illness that are directly or indirectly associated with the water. They are occurring due to the contamination of water. Indicating the sanitation, pure hygiene, uh, pure sanitation, pure hygiene for the water related vectors. These diseases are like major public health concern. Especially in the developing countries, the water related diseases are commonly classified into the major categories. Waterborne diseases. The diseases definition: diseases caused by the water contaminated with the pathogens, microorganisms made to the transmission. And drinking contaminated water. The consuming the food prepared with the contaminated water, the common pathogens are bacteria, virus, and protozoans. These are the water-borne diseases. Diseases cause the chlorella, for example, cholera is it's creating coming from the Vibrio cholera virus. It is causes to the diarrhea, dehydration. Typhoid is causes from the salmonella typhi. It is effect to the humans to the fever, abdominal pain. Dysentery is coming from the Entomobacter histolytica. It is creating to the blood diarrhea diseases. Hepatitis is coming from the hepatitis A virus. It is causes to the jaundice, fatigue, gastroenteritis diseases like pathogen vomitings. Water wash disease. This definition is water causes to the pure personal hygiene due to the lack of sufficient water mode of transmission. Person to person contact. The contaminated hands to cloth and uncleared hands. These are the water related diseases. Next one is I will share you something. Water purification. The definition of water purification is the process of removing the physical, chemical, and biological impurities from the raw water. It making it safe to the stable for the drinking and other uses. Water purification. The raw water is contain the suspended particles, dissolved the colloidal impurities. The the form of removal impurities called the water purification. The kind of treatment on depends upon the characteristic of and quality of available of the water and quality requirements needed to the treated water must be free from the color, taste, odor, and the causes to the organism. The various methods from using the purification of public water supplies, screening. Four methods are generally using the water purification: screening, sedimentation, filtration, and disinfection. What is the screening? The floating of the materials in the raw water and removed by the screening, which are the two types. Screening is a device with the opening of the uniform size used to the related form result of the materials. The screening element may be consisted of the parallel bars, rods, wires. The wires are mesh. The preferable to the plate opening may be of any shape. The fine screens made of the corrosion resist the metal. The screen need to frequently cleaning to the remove of the clogging materials. This is a screening. The screening is the removal of the screen large materials. What is the sedimentation? Sedimentation is the separation of suspended particles. The heavier than the water from the water by the gravitational setting. These are the two types sedimentation process plain to the sedimentation, uh, plain sedimentation and sedimentation with the coagulation. The plain sedimentation process requires the retention of the water in basis of the tanks and suspended particles may be settled as per the results of the gravity from the other forces. The plain sedimentation can be used only the relatively pure water contaminating the undesirable amount of the suspended. The raw water from the rivers, lakes, and groundwater sources may be contain the suspended solids, dissolved chemicals, and pathogenic microorganisms and organic matter. Therefore, it must be undergo the systematic treatment before the distribution. The main step of the water purification, screening and screening purpose, removal of the large floating materials from the raw water. What is the materials removed? For example, leaves, sticks, plastics, debris, dead animals, or large particles. The method was water processed through the metal screens, bars, and racks. It take intake the large waste. What is the importance of the screening? The protect the pumps and equipment, preventing the logging of the water treatment of the units. What is the sedimentation? Sedimentation purpose is removal of the suspended particles by the gravity. The process of water stored sedimentation tank, heavy particles settle at the bottom of the sludge. The clear water flows to the next stage. What are the types? The plain sedimentation with the coagulation using the chemicals like alum. The importance of reducing the turbidity improves the efficiency of filtration. That what is a filtration? Filtration removal of the fine suspended particles and microorganisms. What is the process? Water process through the filter media, usually sand, gravels, and activated carbon. These are the removal from the water. Types of filtration. It is a slow and sand filtration, biological filtration, high quality output. The rapid and stand filtration, faster filtration to the used to the treatment plants. What is the importance of this filtration? That removes the remaining turbidity, reducing the bacterial load. What is the disinfection? And the purpose of destruction of the pathogen and microorganism. The common methods of disinfection is chlorination. Chlorination is the most widely used to method to the chlorine kills bacteria, viruses, and other pathogens. Oxidation, ozonation. Ozonation is to the ozone uses of ozone gas and removal from the particular biological contaminants in the water. Ultraviolet radiation, UV radiation. UV radiation means kill the microorganisms using the UV light. What is the importance of UV radiation? To ensure the microbiological safety, provide the industrial provide the ensure the microbial safety, provide the residential protection to the distribution of the system. The overall objective of the water purification process clears phase and potable water. It is removal from the suspended solids and harmful chemicals, pathogen, microorganisms, protect the public health. The few consequences of conventional water treatment is screening, sedimentation, filtration, disinfection, and distribution. This is the process of the water purification. What is screening in water purification? Screening is the first step. The water purification it is involves in the removal of large floating suspended materials from the raw water before the further treatment. What is the purpose of screening? Is floating material removed from the water body. The plastics, like I you know that already. We are already discussing about the filtration. Uh, suspended solids is removed from the some using the some fine screens. Uh, uh, what is the fine screens you working method? Is constructed closely spreaded metal bars, mesh installed the after the corrosion screening, removal of the smaller materials such as leaves, papers, like that. They are all they remove from the water body. What is the summary of these screening method? Screening removes the floating materials, use the cores of corrosion of the and fine screens, protect the treatment and units of the institute the smaller. Sedimentation in water purification of sedimentation process removal from the suspended solids from the water by using the gravity method. These all are the water purification method. This is useful to the filtration and using to the distribute the water. What is the coagulation in the water treatment? Definition: coagulation is the process of adding the chemicals, the water body, the water, and aggregate the fine suspended solids, colloid particles. There can be removed by the sedimentation. Uh, they can remove by the sedimentation and filtration. The purpose of coagulation removes from the suspended colloidal particles that do not settle naturally. reduce the turbidity, color, improve the efficiency of the sedimentation, disinfection, and all those. What is the principles of coagulation? The most suspended particles in the water body carry the negative electrical charge. Because of these charges, they repel the each of other and remaining the suspension of the when the coagulant added to the uh, neutralization of charges in the particular being the stick and together the form of a large meshes and called large meshes. The common coagulants of alum, most widely used to the alum, ferric chloride, ferric sulfates, polymers. The steps in the coagulation process, a chemical addition, the coagulation added to the raw water. Rapid mixing ensure the uniform distribution. The formation of fluctuation. What is the fluctuation? Is gentle steering the allows to the small particles to collide and combine. The large, heavier flux are formed. The what is the, settle the particles. The flow focals are became the heavy and settle at the bottom in the sedimentation tank. The clear the water flows from the next treatment stage. These factors affecting the coagulation pH of the water type and dose the coagulant mixed with the intensity and temperature of the water and natural suspended particle. What is the advantage of coagulation? Removes the fine and colloidal particles, reducing the turbidity and color. This is a this is a coagulation process importance. What is the summary of the coagulation? Involving the chemical addition lead to the formation of the floccules and result in the setting the particles and removed from the sedimentation process. This is a what is a common coagulant used to the treatment? Alum, some chemical formula of Al2SO, aluminum sulfates. These all are the using from the removal of the coagulants. Mm, What is the next? I will I will share you next topic. This is screening methods and sedimentation. We are already discussing about the coagulation and the common coagulants, alums. We are already filtration. Already we are discussing about the filtration process also. Disinfection also we kill the pathogens and we are already discussing. What is the some treatment plants? What are the softering plants? What is the softering plants? The purpose of filtration, the filtration of water treatment. Uh, the filtration of water treatment is the filtration is a process of passing to the water through the pores and medium such as the sand, gravel, and other materials. Removal from the fine suspended particles impurities. It is a key step of the water purification after the sedimentation of before the disinfection. The purpose of the filtration is remove from the fine suspended solids and reduce the turbidity, removes of the bacteria, microorganisms, improve the clarity of safety of the water. What are the types of filtration? Filtration, the slow and sand filtration. The description. What is the description of the slow and sanitation process? The water passes to the slow in through the bed of the fine sand. Filtration rate is very low. Working principles of the this filtration method. The biological layers is called the biological is formed to the top of the sand. This layer contains the microorganisms that trap the particles, destroy the harmful bacteria. The characteristic of filtration is 0.1 to the 0.3 meter cube for the hour. That requires large area. What is the advantages of the filtration? It produces a highly quality water, removes the 99% of the bacteria. As a simple operation, a low maintenance. It is the advantages of the filtration. What are the limitations? A need for the large land area, a slow filtration rate, and not suitable for the high turbidity water. It is only the using the large area. What is the rapid sand filtration description? The water flows rapidly through the bed and of the sand. They use it to the large scale settlement of the plant working principles. The main physical and chemical filtration remove the particulates trapped between the sand grains and characters. The filtration rate of the working these filtration rate 4 to 5 15 meter cube for the hour requires the coagulation and sedimentation before the filtration. What is the advantage of high filtration rate? They require the less land area suitable for the large water supplies. What is the limitation of these high filtration rate? More complex operation requires the supervision of the need to frequent backwashing. Uh, Pressure. The filter. What is the pressure filtration? Pressure filter the type of filtration, the rapid sand filter, the enclosed in the closed pressure vessels, water force through the filter under the pressure. The characteristic of a compact design used to the waste water treatment, a small community system, swimming pools. The advantage of occupies the less space, a faster filtration, easy installation. What is the limitation of these pressure filtration is high costs, not suitable for the highly turbidity raw water without the pre-treatment. The importance of filtration is remove the remaining impurities after the sedimentation, reduce the bacterial load, improves the effectiveness of the disinfection essential for the producing the safe and drinking water. Next one is what is the transportation of water? Transportation of water is referred to the movement of the water resource treatment, the plant, then distribution of the system, distribution system for the public use. These are done through the conduct the water supply designed by the channel of pipes. Different methods are using the different transport methods from the treatment plants, raw water to the pipes sectors and different sectors. What is the types of water transport system? Is a gravity system, and this is a useful fully up to down method. Second one is the pressure pumping system using to the pump systems to the different sectors. It is a water distribution system. The system is water distribution over one area to another area. These all used to the water transportation only. What is urban water problems? Urban area faces the enormous water supply problem, sanitation challenges due to the rapid population growth. Due to the urban areas faces the enormous water supply and sanitation challenges due to the rapid population growth, industrialization, and infrastructure limitation. These problems affected to the both the water availability and water quality, posing the poses the risk to the public health and urban sanitation. The major urban water problems, these high demand. What is the causes of high demand? The rapid urbanization and population growth expands of the industrial and commercial activities, increasing the lifestyle, the domestic water needs. What is the effects of these urbanization or exploitation of the water sources, declining the groundwater levels, intermitting the adequate water supply? The consequence, what scarcity? Uh, the What is the leakages in the distribution system causes? Again, the pipelines is poor maintenance, illegal collections. These are the causes to the leakages. What is the effects of these leakages? The significant water loss, non-revenue water, reduce the supply from the consumers, increasing the operational cost. The consequence. What is the consequence of the leakage? Water storage, shortage to the leakage through water is removed from the some other areas. Water shortage, waste from the treated water, sewage contamination. Sewage contamination is broken to the leakage of pipes, the cross the connection between the water and the sewage lines. The poor sanitation and infrastructure. What is the pure sanitation effects of the pure sanitation and infrastructure? The contamination of drinking water spread to the waterborne diseases such as cholera, typhoid, dysentery. What is the concept of public health risk? Increasing the medical cost. What is the pressures on these issues? Uneven terrain to the elevation to indicate the pumping system or peak demand to the plate. The effects of the pressure is low water pressuring in high risk building or uh, decent areas. Risk to the contamination due to the bags spoilage contamination to the water body. What is the problems of the main effects of these uh, urbanization? High demand of population growth and urbanization, water actually leakage of the old pipes, poor maintenance of the water losses, sewage contamination, broken the different health risk, the pressure issues on the pure sanitation design, elevation of the irregular supplies. What is the rural water problems? Rural area often the faces the unique water supply challenges due to the limited infrastructure and um, population depends on the local sources. These problems affect the both quality and quantity of the drinking water. The major rural water problem is it depends on the wells limited the access the centralized water supply system reliance on dug wells, tube wells, and hand pumps, springs. Uh, the effects of seasonal water shortage, especially during the summer, fall in the groundwater level due to the overuses, limited alternatives in the water sources. What is the consequence of uh, these effects? Long distance travel to the fetch the water, increasing the burden to the human and children. The poor maintenance of water resources, the poor management of water resources, the lack of the technical support to the insufficient funds for the repairs, absence of the regular inspection to the maintain the water body. What is the effects? Broken hands pumps and pipelines, leakage to the and wastewater to the water body. Reducing the efficiency of water supply system. What is the consequence of these system? These irregular and uneven water supply, increasing to the depends of unsafe sources. What is the contamination risk? The open wells without the proper protection and nearby the pit latrines, the animal sheds, water disposal sites. What's the surface runoff watering entering the wall during the rains? The effects of the microbial contamination, chemical contamination, like fluorides, nitrates, arsenic, and some regions. What are the consequences of the waterborne such as diarrhea, cholera, typhoid? The main problem was main causes of the effect, problems and causes of the effects is depends of the wall lack of centralization of supply seasonal supply, a seasonal shortage of the pure maintenance, a lack of the funds, the technical supports, system failures, the contamination risk with the open wells, nearby sanitation issues, waterborne diseases. Like this is the rural water body issues. The remedial measures of the for the safe and water supply. The remedial measures are the correlated with the preservative the action taken to ensure the safe and reliable and hygiene water supply. These measures help prevent the contamination, reduce the loss, and improve the overall water quality. A proper drainage purpose of the prevent the sanitation of the water wastewater around the water sources, reduce the risk of contamination. The key actions of the construction and proper storm of the water and sewage water. This is a benefit reducing the breeding mosquitoes, prevention of infiltration and sewage drinking water. These all are the water process. What is the water supply scheme? This is a remedial measures for the water supply scheme. The water originates the main from the mainly from the precipitation, which is primarily natural source of the fresh water on earth. Raw water um, coming from the surfaces or groundwater. The source may contain the physical and chemical and biological impurities. Therefore, the treatment is essential to make the water safe for the drinking and domestic uses. And main treatment steps including the screening, sedimentation and coagulation, filtration and disinfection. Screening, sedimentation and coagulation, filtration and disinfection. After the treatment, water must be delivered to through the proper distribution system consistent of the pipes, pumps, and reservoirs. Efficient distribution ensure the adequate pressure and continuously supply to the protection of the contamination. Overall conclusion is this particular topic. The safe water supply system is required. Reliable source of the precipitation based on surface groundwater, effective treatment to the removal of impurities and pathogens, a proper distribution to the delivered clean water and consumers. The these elements are essential for the public health, sanitation, and suitable development for the future. And this is the water sanitation topic, unit 10. Thank you. Today topic is over. Tomorrow we will discuss another topic.